The beam of this 100-ton net truck was good before it cracked. In this case, the owner could only come to the roadside ancient repair shop for repair. For repairing this truck beam with cracks on all 3 layers of steel plates, the masters need to use the jack to cut the steel plate. Only in this way can the first cracked steel plate be repaired conveniently. After cutting the steel plate with the jack, the masters use the superby. In the future, they will repair the cut windows. In order to ensure that there is no deviation in the matching gap between the steel plates, the masters will use the angle grinder to grind the welding bar flat. Then the master will mark the steel plate for repair. By using a complete steel plate to repair the cracks, the force area of the cracks can be effectively dispersed. Before installing the steel plate, in order to ensure that there is no deviation in the matching gap between the steel plate and the beam, they will use the row and top to line the line. After that, they can use electric welding for detailed welding and fixing. This welding process looks complicated, but it is not simple at all. In order to ensure the firmness of the beam, the master in charge of welding needs to strictly control the welding technique. If the welding is not firm enough, the subsequent truck beam will definitely crack more seriously. Therefore, the skilled maintenance master spent more than half an hour through rigorous welding. After the steel plate is welded and fixed, in order to observe the welding condition and reduce the matching gap between the steel plates, it is also necessary to use an angle grinder to grind the welded plate flat. After the steel plate is polished, the master can use a tape measure to make detailed measurements. According to the measured data, the intact steel plate on the other side is marked. Then the master uses the shape of the defective steel plate to cut it into a standard shape. The process is very simple. After a lot of operation, the steel plate has been cut quickly. Next, the uneven position needs to be polished flat and then placed in a basin for cooling. In the process of installation, in order to prevent the matching gap from deviating, we need to use the thread top for assistance and then use electric welding for welding and fixing. In order to prevent the steel plate from deforming during welding, the master beside him also used a sledgehammer to knock the coin to release it. Because the size of the steel plate is relatively large, it is very time-consuming during the welding process. In order to prevent the high temperature generated by welding from causing the steel plate to be returned, they need to weld the steel plate in batches. Through their skilled welding, they still need to grind the uneven welding points in the final finishing process. At this time, the severely cracked truck beam is finally repaired. What do you think of their repair method? If there are 10 points, how many points are you willing to give?